that whole so-called white image of the one you call Jesus Christ is a lie. It's a lie, and it comes from this man right here.
Because in reality, this Christ right here, is nothing more than an image of Caesar Borgia. This Christ right here, this one they call Jesus, this is the Jesus that you will find in churches all across America, in paintings, in artwork, and so on and so forth. And people think that this is Jesus Christ. That when unbelievers or believers picture Jesus Christ, this is the image that they get. What they don't understand is that really, when they worship this image, they are worshiping Caesar Borgia, a false Christ. Now, if you go and you read up on Caesar Borgia, you're going to find a lot of stuff about the guy. How he was in league with the Pope and the Vatican, how he committed incest with his sister. He was a warmonger. And you're just going to find a lot of sick and twisted stuff.
The false image of the Messiah, Christ, the most common images seen in many homes and churches, is the image of Caesar Borgia, son of Pope Alexander VI, who employed Leonardo da Vinci, his son Caesar's gay lover, to paint Caesar as the Christ.
Last time you saw me, I actually came clean and told you that I wasn't the real Jesus. I also told you that I was created to make certain populations happy and comfortable. Well, I am glad to see that many of you are loyal and enjoy strong delusions and still want me as your savior. Wow! What idiots!
As a man of color, and the fact that we have represented him for centuries, literally as a white man, speaks to the entire history of white supremacy. We can act like it didn't happen, we can make it the punchline of a joke, but the reality is this iconography, Jesus more so than Santa, I agree with Mel here, Jesus more so than Santa is a real problem.
Their consent to allowing his picture to be put up and portrayed as Yahshua Christ to deceive the whole world to think Christ was European. See, what most people don't know is, there was a competition during the time called the Renaissance period, between Leonardo da Vinci and the well-known Michelangelo. The competition was to see who could impress the king by making the new image of the king's son that would deceive the world, in which Leonardo da Vinci had won the competition. The original King James Bible of 1611 had the Apocrypha in it, but in 1928 under the Vatican, they made an agreement to take 14 books out of the King James Holy Bible. Why, you might ask? Well, because thousands of years before they put this image up to be Christ, they found out that it was written of in the Wisdom of Solomon located in the Apocrypha, that they would do this and the reason for it. So knowing this was written of in the Wisdom of Solomon, the Roman Catholic Church took it out of the Bible so the people wouldn't figure out their deception. It is a note.
Man, I see white Jesus all over the churches, white Jesus all over the walls, and Jesus wasn't white, man. You preachers know that. You preachers know he wasn't white.
He was a man of color, and the fact that we have represented him for centuries, literally as a white man, speaks to the entire history of white supremacy. The image of a white Jesus has been used to justify enslavement, conquest, colonialism, the genocide of indigenous peoples. There are literally millions of human beings whose lives have been snuffed out by people who conquered under the banner of a white God. It is a real evidence.
So this is the book where you find the documentation that actually says that Caesar Borgia is the one that posed for the image of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you know, we're really good at exporting things. We export white Jesus.
So you lay out in this book how deliberate it was and how it has played a role in advancing white supremacy by taking the image of Jesus.
The Ku Klux Klan, they discovered of a Nordic, that blonde Jesus, not just a kind of brown-haired Jewish white Jesus. So those are the kind of two main moments when white Americans refined and created this kind of white supremacist Jesus.